I will note, Melting Remnant is definitely my worst clan, not only in Friends and Foes, but also outside of it. So I'm still working here, still working at learning this. They explode twice, Blinding Dark Shard and Shattering Dark Shard, as well as Seraph. Diligent. Okay. Nah, I'll take the one that saves his health every battle. Didn't really love those choices. Well, I mean, look, we are currently naturally played with a clan that does give us the ability to put armor on a character, so... Little Icarus again? How about we make the same mistakes? Perfect. I'm going to take this unit draft so I can get a Titan Sentry to combo with my Cuddlebeard. Wait, hang on. Because we did not have the little chumpy boys, the sycophants, I figured that Little Fade wasn't going to be getting Spike's kills early on, at the absolute least anyway. Let's just give you some more damage. How many other damage cards do I have in the deck? There's another Subsuming Blade in here. I'm happy to see it. I guess I'll start torching you down. We must jettison all long-term memory to truly learn. How about I jettison all of it? Just long-term, short-term, just whole kit and caboodle. Yeah, we're just, like, letting the whole line go by. Icarus gets no kills whatsoever. Okay, so here we go. Little Icarus in backline will give you Whiplash, maybe? Whiplash is a lot of extra damage here. Alright. No, it was killed with a knife. Primitive molds a couple times here. Find the right one. Don't play it unless it is. Okay, so 30. Yeah, perfect. So we should now be able to get the kill with Little Fade as well. Ideally, at least. Hey, Silken Sword. Good to have you here. Got him. We got Little Fade to actually grow a little bit. Perfect. Ooh, molded, directed reform to be able to pull it back at the right times. We have 2 fortifies in the deck already. Like, the best they get is like double stack cost reduction for providing 10 by itself. It's not that much. The artifact save you 15 HP. Hell yeah, artifact. Good work. I may just take another piercing attack here. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to take another piercing attack. Ooh. I like the idea of going Wickless Baron on the same floor as a Little Fade. I like it a lot. But more armor? Yeah, but it's also an extra card that I don't get in hand, right? I have to draw the armor card instead of anything else. So spell upgrades here. There's obviously like a fair few good ones. Cost reduction on the Hellbreak as well as +10. Neat. Cost reduction on any of the primitive molds, but obviously significantly on the molded as well as holdover. Also really good. Holdover on a Subsuming Blade. Cost reduction as well. But we may just actually need like a good minion. Maybe we should have a look at what we're going in the next area, right? Merchant of Steel next to a Hellhorn banner. Merchant of Magic's on the other side. So if I go Merchant of Steel, Hellhorn banner here, I'm probably going Merchant Magic in the next area. Pyromanes. I mean, I do care about the extra 20 here. Okay. I was about to say multi-strike alpha, friend.
We got it.
Ladies, gents, and non-binary friends, we have a run. Almost enemies enter with... Yeah, no, I think I'm too strong to give a heck about that at all right now. Nary a single heck. I'm gonna still put the Alpha Friend on the top line, despite the fact that it'll grow a lot slower that way. Because I need more time to kill out the discipled foot soldiers with reformed little fades. Yeah, we'll give you Wicklash as well. Perfect. Primitive Mole brings this back. We Baron, we Lil Fade. That kills one of those, and then I can torch the backliner for another harvest. Oh, beautiful. Yeah, this is going to be really good for the Wickless. How many thorns do you have right now? 5? We're just short on being able to kill the Overcharged Apprentice. Do I care about being able to kill the Overcharged Apprentice? I feel like Subsuming Blade's growth is to help it kill reformed units to get +5 health each time. That's definitely a secondary use of it. I don't know if that's... I mean... Yeah, killing our own targets is like a fair sub-theme. Yeah, it might have been designed with like both of those in mind. You can with Fade plus Blade. Yes, I can kill the Overcharged Apprentice with that, but then I have to worry about the next line as well, right? But the next line as well, like if I reach... am I going to reform next turn? 2 in the deck. Two in the deck. We'll try and reform next turn. Nice. Reform who? Reform who, Rhapsody? Okay, we take 3 less damage there with the Trusted Pyre. Drop a Train Steward there. Do we want anyone else on the second line? Yeah, Primitive Mold is probably going to get back the little Fade here. Pop it on the Harvest line. Oops. Could have been a lot worse. Let me reform it. Thank you. It hits me for 8. We hit back for 60. I really wish I could see, like, dynamically where I should put this for the possibility of killing last gang. Okay, so you hit 8. We hit you back for 30 and then 35. 65 damage done overall. And then you hit back and we die. So we wouldn't hit in the first cycle if we put Little Flayed in the back line. So we would hit the second cycle. We would hit a third cycle. So we hit you for another 62. And then you hit us for a 7. So nice. But also, is that enough damage? That is enough damage. Right? You hit me. Little Fade doesn't hit you, but I deal 65 damage back. You hit me. Little Fade hits you. You hit Little Fade. Little Fade hits you. You hit Little Fade. Little Fade goes here. We get the kill with Little Fade. Alright. Dripfall is a random... Ooh, but I don't want Dripfall as a random pick. Like, literally, we just have a draft right here. Draft's looking good. Draft looking juicy. Another good reform target. I like Welder Helper exclusively as a way to set up Little Fade a little bit more, but... Was I being too tricky about it? I do want some armor. Do just want large amount of armor. Remove stews? Yeah, the stews need to get out of here. I only really want the things that I want to reform. What time is it in Oz? It is 10:51 a.m. in the morning. That is the sun outside that's lighting. Well, I mean, there are multiple things lighting me at the moment. There we go. Turn off the key lights, but I'm gonna take this. Reforming it later is a nice thing that I would like to be able to do. We should probably go minion upgrades again, I think, though. But holdover Moldova. Alright. Let's go on a trip to Moldova. No. Reroll for the possibility of Moldova still? Okay. So if I spend 25 here and then reroll, that's 85 total spent, so 75 out of the next 100. Okay, cool. So I can Emberstone something here happily. Reduce the cost of Subsuming Blade. It's really hard for me to play it right now. Permafrost, that's not really what I was looking for there. We'll plus 10 the Hornbreak. We'll also decrease the cost of this Molded, making sure that we could always play it. No ordering reason there. 10:52 a.m. down here in Sydney. Same. Also in Sydney. Rare, Awoken, Stygian, or Umbra? Awoken. I want the Spike, the Woken Rail Spike, or Cycle of Life, or just a good heal. Unleash the Wildwood even would be great here. There's Cycle of Life. I wonder if I should have gone here first. No. See, that's the thing, you know, like, do you want to dupe your Subsuming Blade or your Hornbreak that you've already upgraded, or do you want to possibly get something which you can then go and upgrade? This could have been given double stack. Get the Spores? Why would I get the Spores here? Cycle of Life is so high cost, though. Whilst that's true right now, that's not necessarily true forever. The next opportunity I would have to decrease its cost would actually be Wildwood, though, unfortunately. No! Adaptive Mutation. You get Little Fade to get really big, and then you make it swapped. It is a 1 damage, 400 health minion with 400 spikes. That's the goal. Oh no! Permafrost actually would have been perfect with that. Dang it. That's a combo I haven't seen yet. I have done it individually in my own time, and it was as nutty as you think it was. As long as you think it was ridiculously nutty. We could get a bunch for Little Fade here on the bottom floor right now. Pop down the Wickless Baron as well. I mean, it's not going to be Clergyman the whole time. Get him. Absolutely get him. Little Fade, I've heard, kind of slaps. That is what I keep hearing as well. I am waiting to be able to experience it. I am not yet good enough to experience that part. I just want Little Fade to slap me. I want the slaps. I want to know why it slaps. Kill Fade Reform. Oh, intentionally doing my... Ooh, I like that. I didn't do it, but I do like it. Good thing I had the ability to promote the other one. The Alpha Friend isn't even getting the opportunity to grow here at all. I'm gonna drop that there. Don't talk to me. I mean, look, Hornbreaker is gonna take you out. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. I mean, I could throw Wicklashes onto the Alpha Friend. But I don't want it to have the possibility of burning out later. But I cycle back to Wicklashes relatively quickly. 4 turns burnout. Grumble, grumble, grumble. We just need Alpha Friend ultimately to be fine by the end of the fight. That is very much our win condition. Okay, we were never doing anything about that top liner anyway. Need a small reform pool? Yeah. I keep having minions just plug gaps in the run right now, but... Not what I wanted. Just pop the Welder Helper on this floor. So the Welder Helper would be to 40. 40 means you can take 4 hits without dying. 4 hits means you have 8 opportunities to do 30 damage. Which is just short of 300. Ugh. Ugh. Reform that blade. It's just whether or not it's something like, you know, adaptive on you, right? Get an extra 10 here, and then also Welder Help. How big would the Baron be if you mutate it? 54, 44. Maybe I leave things out of the reform pool right now, like don't play the Welder Helper. We're probably going to end up getting the kill on the top floor, I think. Fade fits behind Alpha. Yeah, but for how many hits? The draft just dealt an extra 120 damage. I feel pretty comfy with that. Okay, cool. Whew. If I may make a suggestion, spam suiciding Little Floor on the same floor as a way, as say a Legion of Wax would snowball the Legion's damage if you take the upgrade that makes her buff allies upon placement. It doesn't buff it upon placement, it buffs it upon extinguish, I'm pretty sure. Then if by some miracle dies, it splits into a bunch of smaller, arguably worse war crimes. I definitely do want to actually like experiment with that branch. That is one of the things for Little Fade that I've not taken yet at all. Remove all burnout and debuff effects from a unit does give me the ability to take a Little Fade that's been reformed a bunch of times and then just say, yeah, but you stay this time. It is the ultimate extension with Wicklash. I'm taking the Wickless recruitments here. I don't believe I need any of this. Wait, is that permanent damage on Slay? Yep. So we have the Little Fade, which is also getting the permanent damage and spikes on Slay, but I also have the Subsuming Blade getting permanent damage on Slay. Both of these in the deck at the very start. If I can utilize this effectively and really eke out as many different extra Slay triggers as I possibly can, the run should be able to snowball out of control, but we'll see. +1 energy per turn doesn't seem good. +1 draw per turn seems reasonable, especially with 0 cost, 0 cost, 0 cost. Probably going to make that 0 cost if we don't get holdover. 0 cost. Capacity is not awful here either. But it's also not great. A quick backline Little Fade could be nasty as hell. Ooh, no, we'd have no access to quick in this, unfortunately. It's gotta be the draw. +1 energy makes holdover Slay free. No, it doesn't, because it still costs me a card in hand. Like, there are hidden costs to everything. This way, I'm seeing, you know, over the holdover Slay +1 energy, I'm seeing 2 extra cards per turn with having taken the draw instead. Hold up should be nerfed. I don't agree with that. It's not too powerful. It can be. Like, surely it can be in a circumstance where it gets too powerful, but it's like, it's really not, like, concerning levels of powerful. I may just go for another molded here. Because I do want to be able to reform the Welder Helper, the Draft, and the Little Fade more consistently. More specific pool. Or rather, a more specific reliant pick back up, rather. What do we got? Also on to your cost. Do I have the ability to like generate any extra energy for you or any reason? No. Okay. Basically just checking if I have any energy cheating to take that for any reason. Take the other one instead. If Hold It got nerfed, then half my wins wouldn't have happened. It's my favorite upgrade. It was my favorite upgrade for a really long period of time. I think Permafrost might be one of my favorite upgrades at the moment. Because there are a lot of cards you'll put in your deck with the idea of, like, there is one specific point in the fight where this needs to be played. And if it's not played on that turn, uh-oh, it's useless. If it is played on that turn, we won. It's so good. Number soul units, soul help with moving up a floor. That's going to make killing the Clipped Reflector, I feel, a little bit difficult. And by a little bit difficult, I mean really bad. But also, we have full health on the Pyre as well as 15 on the Pyre walls. So, like, we could take a couple Clipped Reflectors for the sake of a random artifact here. My favorite upgrade is probably 7 Rage at the moment. So abusable for a small upgrade. Yeah, I love putting 7 Rage on a deranged brute. The deranged brute, I think. Oh, it's just so good. Well, there's a resource, exactly. I'm gonna spend it on some stuff right here. Little Fade Welder Helper in the back line. We can do this. Just unfortunately, the Clipped Reflector is gonna, you know, fully heal back up. I mean, Alpha Friend just goes here to start growing as quickly as possible. Can I do anything about this? I can. So Wickless Baron goes here, and then I double torch the Collector? Actually, that's fine, because I end up removing the armor off the Clipped Reflector anyway, and the Clipped Reflector was going to get its... Yeah, it was going to get its health back any floor, next floor anyhow as well. Alright. Molder pulls back a little Fade. For another 29 damage, but again, that's not going to kill the Clipped Guardian. Uh-oh. Oh dear. This appears to be a dire problem. I may need to get the Train Stewards out of the next cycle. Yeah, it's going to be 2 turns until one of them dies anyway. How are you supposed to scale Little Fade so the spikes are useful? Reforming it, giving it armor, giving it health. No longer using the spikes. Like, because its spikes and its damage scale in tandem. So eventually you have so much damage on it that maybe you just focus on the damage past that point. Yeah, unfortunately, like, I burn out 2 on Little Fade right now. Oh, but I have Wickless Recruitment and Wicklash left in the deck. Hang on. I can go Little Fade and then Adaptive Mutation it right now. It's just I am going to take a lot of damage to Clipped Guardians. So we're doing the Little Fade Adaptive Mutation here, right? Certainly. Certainly. And then, I guess, just not to have you in the reform pool. Youchie. All's well. Best I can do right now. All right, another Wickless. Probably more to bring back. Welder Helper? Sure, it could be a lot worse. Anyone else got debuffs I need to worry about right now? Did not. I could have done that on the imp, gotten an extra attack off. Okay. Give me the imp. So this will do 120 extra damage. That's enough. It's more than enough. So we lost about 60 health there in order to get... Good news. Having this means it's not going to show up in a later relic shop where I'm looking for something else. That's the good news right there. Resin removal, Wicked Blaze? We have so much reform in this deck right now. I don't know if we need Wicked Blaze. I'm actually thinking possibility of Remnant Host giving more slays that I can do on the... or harvests that I can do on the Wickless floor. But I know absolutely nothing about the lore of this game. Same. I know not a single thing about it. Have not read a single syllable, let alone a letter of it. Such a diluted reform pool, though. With this, no, the drafts themselves are cardless, so those won't go in, but it would just be a Remnant Host that I would have. What am I going to be upgrading in the next area, right? Merchant of Steel, Merchant of Trinkets. What am I even looking for in a Merchant of Trinkets at this point? Merchant of Steel, obviously, like Alpha Friend, still wants help. So does the Draft. Okay. Okay. Inferno's good. Come on. Hey! Another multi-strike. Okay, the Alpha Friend now grows very quickly. I just need to find ways to defend it. So, what? We keep reforming people in front of it? How are we going to do this? 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 Spot that plus 10 on the draft. Reroll. Well, we got everything I asked for, pretty much. Just let it die and reform it too. It does keep its stat ups. It does keep its stat ups. Maybe I want to give the Wickless Baron both of these upgrades right now. Right, just make it a bigger boy. It's not like it's not there forever, but it is there for enough time. Yeah. Also have a look at this. Could have saved a solid, cool, almost 100 gold right there. Yeah, extremely punished. Shouldn't you check the artifact before spending in the shop? Yes. Yeah, I should have. What I should have done is looked at the first offering in the shop, then taken the artifact, then gone back to the shop. I always forget to kind of like double back like that. YouTube trolled me into thinking you had a new Iridice series starting. YouTube. How did they know I wasn't going to start a new series on that? I don't want the imps because I don't want to like dilute the hell out of my reform pool right now. How do we get 13 turns of... Sorry, 8 turns of stealth off of you? With great difficulty? Adaptive mutation. Adaptive mutation, you're right. Reform the armor fade. That might be way too slow. Oh. Do I? Just do it now? Little fade, swap it, and then it kills Sycophant, overcharge. Like, it's getting stronger the whole time while that's happening. And then Wickless Baron in the backline is just getting stronger as well. Yeah, do it. Prospect of missing out on taking this Alpha Friend sucks. Does it come back from Reform with adapted stats? That is a great question. Probably not. No clue. Let's find out. It will. It will. This is the meta deck. It'll come back with that. So yes. I don't want to miss out on playing the Alpha Friend. Like, I really want the Alpha Friend. It's just then I don't get the Collector. What if I put the Remnant Host here? Does that help? 20 extra damage on you? Helps at least kill. Oh, wait. Thank you, Tempered Talisman. You did a thing. I thought you weren't gonna, and then you did the thing instead. Totally forgot about that. That'll kill the top line. Do I want a Well to help here? Nothing else to reform. I really, really want the Alpha Friend on the next line to be consistently comfortable. Yeah, so I think my goal is just reforming the Little Fade. And if my goal is reforming the Little Fade, then yeah, we throw that on you. Pop a Wicklash off, no reason not to. Draft for some extra damage in the backline, I guess. Rat Brain fully online. Yeah, it takes a while. It takes a while to get online, but we appear to be here. Okay. Sad not to get any ability to reform when I have the Wickless Recruitment, because rough, but we shall endure. And nothing else I can really do right now. Were there any other things I did? Yep. Behind the scenes stuff that, like, you as like an individual player of the game don't need to worry about, but me as a creator really rubbed me the wrong way. Yeah, as well as completely jacking the project from someone. I try not to talk too much about the Iritus drama, quote unquote, because like I don't have the ability to like very confidently go out there and say stuff, because everything I heard was hearsay on hearsay. But it was enough for me to happily avoid it, especially considering I already had some issues with it. Specifically, like, the sexualization thing was like really rubbing me uncomfortably, and then like when I mentioned it in the first episode, like I had to delete so many comments from that, because there were a bunch of chuds who were like, oh yeah, but Iritus is shirtless on the cover too. And it's like, yeah, but that's a power fantasy versus like abject sexualization of every female character in the entire game. It's like, you're not right. I don't know what you... Anyway, I don't mean to stoke another argument of... Opinions. That's all I get to say. Opinions. Just pop that in the back line, get another kill. And it probably should have been in front of the Wickless Baron, I guess, but all of this pretty much now is just forfeit. We're just looking for another pop-up of the Remnant Tomb here. I mean, the Remnant Tomb itself is going to take a lot of the slays. Hey, actually, to the point that I may want to just, yeah, reform Little Fade and see if we actually get a kill with it. Ah! Fine. I'm starting to sound like one of Wanderboss rambling rants that I love. There are topics that I am much more comfortable consistently talking about. That is unfortunately not one of them. Hard pass. Bit late. Let's focus on the fact that it's wonderful these conversations are happening because that's huge progress. Yeah, definitely agree. Definitely agreed. From the time that I was a teenager to now, there are I don't want to downplay the amount of the difference that appears to me evident because I was less cognizant of these kinds of issues at that time, and now I'm more aware of them. But there is definitely like a larger appetite and more people come to the conversation when those things are discussed broadly. To clarify, were you talking about the game narratives? Yes. March of Shields. Bit of extra armor. If nothing else, it's also a reorganize of the board. Okay. Double card removal seems reasonable here. We've got the train stewards, which are just dead weight for us at the moment we want to cut. I just want to not need to have an opinion just to enjoy my games. Yep. I feel similarly, but I feel like I feel similarly, but I think there are two different ways of approaching that. There are people who will approach it from the direction of, I don't want to have to think about these kinds of things. There is no politics in games kind of direction. And then the other direction of, man, it would be really wonderful if we lived in a world where I didn't have to care about this stuff and it didn't matter as much as it does. Right, so you think Monster Train is more fun than Spire? I definitely feel it has more significant, has a significant more things going on. They're different. I hate to do the same answer, but they are different. I would say, like, Spire gets nuttier way less commonly than Monster Train, but especially with the Ladder Streak series recently, I don't know if I think that's true. They're just different games. I think in Slay the Spire, you can play the rest of your run a little more accurately. Like you can mentally model and map the way in which the rest of the run is going to go based on what the things you've already started picking up are, giving yourself apt opportunities to try and find a larger subset of cards. I think in Slay the Spire, you have more control over what goes into your deck, and in Monster Train, you have more control over what you do with the cards in your deck, right? The upgrade system in Slay the Spire is plus. Just 1+. Unless, of course, you're talking about Searing Blow, but we're not talking about Searing Blow, so it's just 1+. Whereas in this game, the different upgrade paths, the million different combinations of different upgrade paths you can put on a single character make a million different results for that single card. But also you don't get the opportunity to see as many cards as you would in something like Slay the Spire. So I think they're significantly different, to the point that I don't really feel comfortable making the comparisons. It's in the same way that, like, I've used this to elucidate the same point before. It's in the same way that with Hades and Curse of the Dead Gods, I feel they're relatively similar, but I don't compare them. Like, I will note the similarity, but that is the point at which I end that conversation myself. Yeah, we don't need more Merchant of Steel, so we just go over here. Empty as real puts it. Empty as real puts it is a game with big swings. Oh, sorry, as Teak puts it, right, is a game with big swings where SCS is more of a bit of a flow over time. Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Sorry for bringing it up. No, you don't need to apologize at all. I don't mean to guilt anyone for bringing it up. I just wanted to elucidate why it's something I kind of tend to try and avoid a little bit more commonly. Please make a Thunderstrike deck work in the Ladder Streak. I really do want to, but unfortunately Ladder Streak is like low ascensions. We can try and go like, oh, let's see if we can make this work. But like, there are some right answers and some wrong answers, as you might imagine with, you know, any set of cards. All right. Mention magic. Ooh, there's our holdover. That's our Moldover right there. Subsuming Blade? We could just constantly remove a target from the field. Adaptive Mutation isn't really necessary to remove consumption from or anything like that. Permafrost would be... I mean, I like, actually, the possibility of going for a holdover Inferno. Is that too much? That might be too much. All right, we get the Moldover. Cost reduction on Inferno, reroll. Permafrost, there we go. So there's two different Permafrost targets. There's Wickless as well as the Adaptive Mutation. I think Adaptive Mutation is probably the more important. Is it? We usually get Adaptive Mutation in the same hand as a Molded. Whereas Wickless, we specifically need to play after we do the first Molded. How does Holdover with Consume work? You don't have the ability to put Holdover on cards that have Consume until you remove the Consume from it. Inferno isn't attuned? Nah, Inferno already does a lot of damage. Inferno attuned would be a problem. It'd be too good. Alright. Do I plus 10 this again? What does it take out that it didn't previously? Nothing. I definitely cost reduce another one. You can put Consume on a holdover card. It makes the card consume. You won't get it next turn. Yes. It's like a Seraph the Diligent putting Consume on it kind of thing. I never want to be able to lock myself out of my turn by playing the Inferno. Random Awoken, Umbra, or Melting Remnant consumable card here. Awoken for regen, for spikes, for... What's Remnant? Umbra? Honestly, I have a feeling I want to go Umbra literally just for the possibility of getting Space Prism capacity. Nice. Oh, cool. Another one. Woken. Do we put regen on the... No. At this point, Alpha Friend needs to be individually defended by someone else. Otherwise, regen isn't really worth anything for us. Skip. Is attuned to keyword that only Stygian Guard gets, because I don't understand why Inferno doesn't have it. If I recall correctly, it's only on cards that target the front unit only. Is there any version that isn't that? I can't think of any that don't have that. 35 cards is already a lot. Yeah, we do. We do have like a significant, hefty deck right now. There's one? Ooh. Which is it, Sal? Is it an event card? Probably not really going to be worth my time just throwing Infernos against the boss here. Oh, Molten Encasement. Molten Days. I know the card you're talking about. Yeah. Oh, it is Molten Encasement. All right, I was right. Cool. Is Wickless Little Fade on the bottom floor? It is, but I need to replace the Alpha Friend goes behind the Wickless after this. I guess I play this on this floor anyway then. There you go, 103 damage. Molten Entrapment. Okay. It was close. It was ballpark. Okay, there's the Alpha Friend. Now we need capacity so we can use the Remnant Host consistently. I'm also just going to reform this, have it do 60 damage, and then have it die. Weight of Contrition. Bye. You knew that was going to happen, Raps. There you go. Little fade. Let's reform you next turn. Yeah, this fight is rad. I agree, Dane. I prefer this to fail pretty significantly. You have a lot more control over whether or not, or you have a lot more counterplay. Okay. Great. We'll take back Little Fade, and then I can just pop it here and then Adapting Mutation it right now. We have 2 more hands. This has Burnout 3. We have 2 more hands, and we're guaranteed to get Wickless Recruitment in it before we get to the bottom of the deck. Bunch of extra damage on all these units. I'm just like extremely, extremely pleased with this idea. You go there, and then you go there, and then we get Days 1 to your units, don't need to do that. Don't really need to do anything here. Yeah, let's get back this draft. I'm gonna kill it, and I'm gonna get it back. Just making a better draft for the future. In case it's relevant. One extra wave. Is Wickless Baron going to be big enough yet? I worry the answer is no. Torch you, Molded, get the Welder Help back. We're going to try and also build a floor where this draft does a bunch of damage. Never mind, we're fine. Yeah, triple multi-strike goes really quickly. Oh, it gets big. Endless? Endless being put on something like the Wickless Baron or the Alpha Friend just means that, like, next floor, if I set up on the bottom floor and that I lose the bottom floor to a Dauntless fight, I just set up on the next floor again. This is prevent yourself from losing. The Dark Imp ain't bad either. The Dark Deal ain't that bad either. Sorry, not the Dark Imp. The Dark Deal, specifically for just getting the Alpha Friend to do more damage early. Transimp is so good though. Yeah, but it's only, like, literally I have 1 Welder Helper in the deck. I do replay the Welder Helper multiple times, but I won't play the Transcend Imp until I have already played it multiple times. And even then, like, you know, I've done so much to do so little, you know? If you Endless Little Fade, she will multiply with buffs, question mark? I don't understand. Multiply with buffs? I could go capacity here again, actually. Capacity just guarantees that I have the ability to play all of those units on the same floor. Dead draws reduce consistency. Yeah, like drawing the Transcendent multiple times when I don't really want to do it is not that great. Capacity again? We didn't go capacity for the first one. So capacity would be so that if the bottom floor is 4 pips, so it had the pip removed from it, then we still have the ability to put the Wickless Baron as well as the Alpha Friend down by itself, and then we can wait for the ability to use the Space Prism and Little Fade, rather than... And we can also do all of those by base, including the Remnant Host, if, in fact, we want to put Little Fade on other floors. I think it's the capacity just for safety. I don't want to have the bottom floor blocked when I desperately need it. Dupe double removal. Dupe double removal. Like, duping Inferno doesn't look that bad here either. Nor does duping the Remnant Pact. Other side, spell upgrades. What do I really want from the spell upgrades right now? Nothing. I don't want anything from spell upgrades. Okay. Well, that decides it for us. Double removal. Get the heck out of here, you train steward. Nicarism again. This dupe is going to matter a lot. I like Inferno for getting people who get past our bottom floor or thinning them out before they get to our top floor, if the case may be that we're setting up on top. What I mean is when a minion with endless dies, does the card you get back in the hand keep the buffs? Yes. Yes. The stat changes stay with it. The buffs like Rage and stuff like that don't. But Spikes is inherent to my card itself, so yeah, that would also come back. I could actually, like, double the draft here as well pretty happily with all of these primitive molds in the deck. No, it's the Inferno. Just safety. With double mold over, you could have played both imps every turn for massive armor. With 2 spaces on the floor. Non-boss enemy units enter with spikes. 5. That's too much for our Alpha Friend. I actually can't take this. The longer I stayed there, the more I was going to try and convince myself that I could take it. Extremely not the case. Little Fade Endless, just give it. But then Alpha Friend dies, right? If I put the Alpha Friend behind. Alpha Friend, Little Fade, Remnant Pact on the bottom floor. Maybe we do set up Alpha Friend on the top floor here. Give us as much time as possible to clear out the Wilt Wings. Okay. Nice. Bunch of damage on the Gilded Wing already. Okay, we're off to the absolute races here. You're gonna come back with 72. You're gonna come back with Gilded Wing. Yeah, I guess I'm gonna reform you on the next floor next turn. So, molded, Torch Imp, and then molded the Imp. I do want the Little Fade to die here, but then I could have also put the Imp on the top floor and had it half. Yeah, it should have been Torch Imp, reform the Imp, put the Imp on the top floor, have it destroy itself by the end of that turn. Oh, I can't put the Remnant Host down here on the bottom. We'll give way too much harvest to the Darkwing. Yeah, we'll just torch the bottom as a kind of like a... what would you call it? A consolation prize? But with the permafrosted Wickless recruitment, how bad is it really if Alpha dies? It's not that bad. It's not that bad. Okay, nice. Kill you and... It's endless, Ryan. It's endless. It's been endless the whole time. All good. I'm just increasing the difficulty level on myself a little bit here. Game's too easy. Just trying to make it hard. You know, just trying to make it fair. Okay. Bring back the imp. Well, both of those on that floor. Get the front two as well. We're heavily running out of slays while we're doing that, though. Can I get my adaptive mutation, please? It's been of dire importance this entire time that I get it and it just won't turn up. 11, 5, 15. So I would kill the 2 wilt wings there. Killed 2... I killed 2 wilt wings if I do it on this floor as well. Sure. Eh? There we go. I killed 3 wilt wings if I do it on this turn. Definitely what I intended to do the entire time. Can't prove otherwise. At this point, the Pyre Wall has saved you like 100 plus HP. Yeah. Pyre Wall won the run by itself, frankly, as far as I'm concerned. Fine. And then we molded, and then we bring back the Welder Helper, and then we play that on this floor. There we go. We should be fine. Please. Oh my god, you are actually kidding me. Adapting Mutation is one of the bottom cards of the deck. I need to remove so many more cards from this deck. We are having too much difficulty with that. Burn out 2, just burn out on the top line. Actually, maybe I just take you for damage on the top line. Okay. Subsuming Blade that, bring back a Welder Helper with a little bit more stats on it, as well as a little bit more armor for my own minions. Perfect. And then I have an extra space here on top, and I played a little fade out front, and we win. I sincerely hope so too, as well. Silly. I do want to. I'm kind of seeing how much of a capability and capacity I have for streams at the moment, trying to make sure that I rise up to that rather than like go down, or rather gradually work up to the amount that I can do, rather than accept an amount and then have to work down to what I actually can do, you know? Memento Mori is like a bunch of damage, but do we need it? Do we need it? We do not. So is Lil Fade any good? How did you give her Endless? Seems like one of the weakest champions. The people I know who are the best at the game, I know Appeal to Authority, blah, 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 but the people I know who are the best at the game say that Lil Fade is the best of the new champions. I'm still trying to like work my way into it, you know? None of those either. And I gave it Endless with a Waxen Tome. Waxen Tome? Tome. Remnant Pack. There we go. It's probably not minion upgrades again. Another dupe. What would I even do with another dupe? Not the best, but certainly the most fun. Ooh, best is Wildleton, I think. Ooh. I need to play with more Wildleton now. Okay. Double stack? Yeah, that's March of Shields. Pretty much nothing else. Plus 10. I honestly think I probably just used most of my money for card removals here. God, why did I come over this side? I could have just gotten money and card removals on the other side. Second unit to return gain 3 energy. I mean, we're already like over flooded with energy at this point, right? We don't need the ability to generate extra. Dupe Tome for reliability. Would it be Tome or would it be the adaptive mutation? Because I can give Little Fade Endless after I've reformed her, right? And then still Wickless it later, like remove her, reform, and then just have her be Endless as well as the right. Surely it's adaptive mutation just for the Little Fade. When a card with consumers play, deal 30 damage to the front enemy unit. I mean, Seraph the Diligent, we're going to be consuming cards consistently, so I feel like Trader's Quill is probably a reasonable pick. Yeah, I'm just going with that build, and then I'm going to cut some cards. The cards I'm going to cut are just going to be the Train Stewards, because the spells are going to be extra in the final fight for us. Going to be a little bit more useful. I'm just going to give plus 10 to one of those, and then cost reduce. Remnant Pack? Is Remnant Pack ever in a hand with a bunch of other cards that I need to play? Yes! If it's in the opening hand with my minions. What if Little Fade is actually the imposter? Well, then Little Fade is going to team up with Seraph as soon as we get into this fight, and then we're going to be done! We're going to lose! Love it. Okay. We have to burn this Inferno, because then I get to play the Alpha Friend afterwards. Burn Inferno. Little bit of a fade. Maybe I let the Alpha Friend go here. So that the Alpha Friend can increase its damage. Like, it needs to start scaling. I can't just put Little Fade there and then constantly have units die and then Alpha Friend never grows. What do I do in that circumstance, right? Just put Little Fade on a different floor. It hits Sarah. Oh, it hits. Thank you, chat. Thank you for picking up the IQ that I clearly dropped. Got Little Fade back. This is a good start. This is an exceedingly good start. I definitely don't need another fortifying the deck after this. Let's blow that up there. Draft us another 40. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to track the draft down here. Have the Little Fade kill these two. Nice. And then burn the self-mutilation. I don't have to deal with that. Can we just rename the game to Secret Alexa? Perfect. That's what we're going to have to do. Should we get back to it, of course. We do seem to have cycled around to other games at the moment. Okay, next. What else? Let's start with a Space Prism so I don't have to burn a card here. Bring back a Little Fade, obviously. Bring Hold as well. Throw away the Ice. Okay, yeah, that simplifies the whole hand. Is what was ultimately going to end up being anyhow. So 120 damage to both of the frontliners with a Little Fade. That's really important. It helps us get the second liner down here that we were already having difficulty with. I like the way NL calls it Secret Badman. That's what I've been referring to it as in private chats. Then Remnant Host and then the Draft die at the end of the turn anyway, so we just get a bunch of extra charges on our Wickless there. Maybe I Frost... No, I have to keep this. I have to keep this. I tell you what, the game really, really does not want to give me either of the adaptive mutations. I duped it so that I would get it early. We're also going to lose the Remnant Pact in this cycle because of that, are we? No, we're not. We're not. We're not. That goes there. Right? It's molded. Wickless, Remnant. Molded, Wickless, Remnant. We can still do it. Yeah, it's fine. Molded. Wickless. Remnant Pact. Trash that on top. Pass. I mean, I could Inferno top. Yeah, let's Inferno top. There we go. Get some extra damage out of it. Game! Why? It just really, really doesn't want me to actually draw them. I'm gonna get them. 34 card deck there in the very bottom. I don't know why the game is trying so hard. Do I put the draft host in there as well? Probably not, right? Probably not. Why? No reason. It goes down. Molded. Keep that in the next hand anyway, just in case. Extra drafts, I guess. Finally, it wasn't the bottom three. It was, because we were drawing from that, yeah, and the whole turbo. Okay, so it was the bottom 4 cards of this deck had both of them. At least we have it. But still. At least we have it, but also, though. We did it. And that, friends, is Little Fade with Adaptive Mutation. It is... Didn't get the Slay with Little Fade. Counts as a loss, though. Well, but look. The Little Fade and the Seraph obviously were both looking to betray us. It's just the Little Fade would have gotten caught if they'd betrayed us in that circumstance. We obviously would have immediately reported anybody on my own team. So I think they were just playing along until the very end there. Didn't even get to draw the final adaptive as well. Did we? Hang on. Did we? Was it the final turn? I forgot already. At least we did it. The run worked. Nice. Cheers, Smack to the future. Thank you for hanging out. Alpha Friend egged it up as a 160 by 3. Yeah, it was a hefty one at the very end there. All right. Let's have a look at the run summary.